Welcome back, everyone. It's John, Wade Boggs fan. It is Tuesday night, March 9th. Hope everyone is having a good start to their week. So for those of you who watched my last video, I created a new little video intro, and it featured one of my favorite songs of Aerosmith. And of course, I got dinged with a copyright violation. I knew I would. They didn't take it down. Basically, as long as I have that video on there, any monetization, YouTube may put some ads. You may have noticed some ads on that video. It wasn't me. If I ever someday become monetized, anything earned on that whole video will go to the music label. I may leave it up for a little while. I may change and edit and switch out the intro, but I don't know. It was fun. I just thought that song was fitting for that intro, and glad for those of you who commented that you thought it was pretty cool. But as you notice with this video, I have switched over to a free licensed song, so I won't get dinged on that. So the other thing from last video is I did a Would You Rather, and the Would You Rather pitted two cards, a 1934 Gaudi number 37 in a PSA 4 of Lou Gehrig versus a 1933 Gaudi number 53 in a PSA 2 of Babe Ruth. And lots of comments, and it looks like the Lou Gehrig card edged out. When it first started off, the vast majority picked the Gehrig, and then as the comments started coming in on the video, there were a few more that picked Ruth. And there is something to say about owning a Babe Ruth card during his playing days, but for me personally, that Gehrig card is probably one of the most beautiful baseball cards ever made. That yellow background and just that great big smile on Gehrig's face. It's a classic. Of course, it reminds me of one of my favorite cards that I own is my 54 Topps Ted Williams number 250 with that yellow background and a big portrait picture there of Ted's face there. So that probably had something to do with it, but I always thought that Gehrig was one of the most beautiful cards ever made. So yeah, I think I'll continue to do that from time to time, and I may mix things up and make it a little bit more difficult to choose. We'll see. All right, for today's video, it's a bit of a mail day. Picked up a few cards over the last, few days, and mainly Boggs, but a Tom Seaver. So I'm going to turn the camera around and let's check out some of the newest cards in my collection. I'm going to start off, of course, with the Wade Boggs cards. Now, back in the 80s, there were some of these food discs that were put out, and here are two examples that I have. Here's a Key Food 50th anniversary, and the stats on the back there. Okay, so from 1987 I have a Key Food, and there's also a Wise Winners version. There are maybe 3 or 4 different versions of these put out for different products. All right, and pretty much only the top changes. Okay, well, being a super collector, I know that there are uncut pieces of uncut sheets of these, so you can see there's perforations on here. All right, so these were actually put either 2 or 3 in a group, and it would all fold up, and that's what you would get in a certain product. But they had some uncut sheets that people have cut up, and they're called squares. So I recently picked up the Key Food square. You can see there it's the same thing. It just hasn't been die cut or perforated through the process. It's full back, so it's not a blank back. All right, so you just see how that that works there. Okay, and I picked up the Wise Winners. Now, both of these have, it's hard to tell there, but right at the top, there's a little bit of a crease. But these square ones are hard to come by. I actually got them for a very decent price. I think I bought both of these for like $3 or $4 each, plus shipping from the same seller. So that was nice. So this is the square version. And again, backs are the same. So that was that. I've been looking for those for quite a while. The next and last Boggs card is from 2021. Again, it's the Platinum Players, that die cut card out of the shape of a 70. It may be hard to see here compared to the last one I showed off. The last one I showed off was the blue parallel, and it's a somewhat dark blue. Can easily be confused with the black. This is the black, but the difference between the two is the black is serial numbered out of 299. You can see it right there. And the blue is not serial numbered. So I have the base, I have the blue, I have the black. The only ones I'm missing are the Platinum Anniversary, which is a nice foil there with the little 70s logo. Those are serial numbered out of 70. And I believe there's a red version out of 10. I don't know if I've seen any of the 10s pop up on eBay. May not have a shot at getting one of those. And then of course there's a gold that is a 1 of 1, and I'd probably never be able to pick that one up. But there's that. So those were the Boggs pickups, and the last one is I picked up a vintage Tom Seaver. I've been picking up a couple 1975 cards, and now I have a Tom Seaver to add to the 75 collection. It's an S6. Seavers are, I think even in 7s and definitely anything higher, I think 7s are even over $50 or something like that, maybe even closer to $100, and forget about 8s. So Seaver's on the high end, so I'm very fine picking up a 6 on this. Really good centering. Obviously there's a few marks. There's a little fisheye up there by the E. There's a little black mark there on the border, but not too bad. But I think what actually gave this a 6, and I saw this in the listing, and this may surprise some of you if you've noticed some of the cards that I've picked up. I like really good centering as best as I can. Sometimes I can handle a little off centering, but a fairly crisp, looking card, the eye appeal. And I'm not so much worried on the back, but check this back out. Okay, you can probably pick it up right there. That looks to be, I don't think it's gum. It may be actually the wax stain from being the last card in the pack. And believe it or not, I didn't have a problem with this. I actually thought it was fairly cool. I don't know why. Normally I would probably want, because it does make it a little bit hard to read the stats, but I don't know. There's just something that said, hey, that's somewhat cool. Could have been the last pack there. It looks like it's wax. I mean, again, it could be gum as well. I don't think it's just like dirt or rubbing. So I think it has to do from being coming out that way in the pack, which is, I don't know, I thought it was pretty cool. But anyway, there is another 1975 Topps to add to my collection. Nice copy there of Tom Terrific. So I still need to pick up his 76 and 77. But I have his 78, 79, and 80. So again, working on a little bit of a mid to late 70s run of Tom Seaver, but he of course is one of the expensive Hall of Famers to pick up. So again, very pleased with that 8. Not sure if I'm going to do any of the minis. That may be sometime down the road. I think the minis are pretty cool, but right now I just want to focus on the basic cards for that. So, all right, let's wrap this video up. This time, let's do some trivia. All right, the trivia question for you guys today is, of the 30 current franchises, only one never has had a player lead its league in home runs. Which team? Now, obviously, you can start going through a process of elimination. You can think of players who have led the league in home run or who were big home run hitters, and you can, okay, scratch that team off the list, but there's only one. I probably wouldn't have guessed it. Obviously, I know the answer, but I probably wouldn't have gotten it, at least for a while, probably not on my first guess. So maybe a tough one for you. We'll see. So that's all I have for you guys. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.